What's going on, folks? Ted from Immersion here, and you can see above me. This is another interesting one. There's a lot of stuff that's starting to come out. More people are noticing interesting, weird interactions between different aspects of D&D 5e 2024, whether that's spells that are different, um, weird interactions between features and things. And this is one that I thought was really interesting. So, what you're seeing on the left side of your screen is 2014's stunned condition. And as you can see, a stunned creature is incapacitated. See the condition incapacitated. They can't move and can only speak falteringly, automatically fail dex and strength saving throws, and attack rolls have advantage. That's what we've known for 10 years. Now, if you look right here, this is the 2024 stunned condition. Now, you may notice, if you're keen-eyed, there's something missing. And you are not limited in your movement. So, per 2024 rules, you can still move when your character's stunned. Now, you might be saying, well, maybe the incapacitated condition says you can't move, and it does not. So it's just, you can't take actions of any kind, more or less. I'll get you the specific wording here in just a minute. But you can still move while you're stunned, which seems counterintuitive, and I wouldn't be surprised if the first errata that we get for 5e 2024 corrects this. Especially because there's some things that we see, like the Monk's Stunning Strike. Now, if you recall, they updated the Monk's Stunning Strike now to one, and agreed to, a way to limit it. It is now once per turn, but they went and added some extra functionality for even if they succeed on the saving throw versus your Stunning Strike. And it says, they must make a con save. On a failure, they're stunned until the start of your next turn, right? As per the condition you can see here. However, if they succeed, their speed is halved until the start of your next turn, and the next attack roll against them is made with advantage. So, presumably, the reason why their speed is halved is because when they're stunned, they shouldn't be able to move. And this is kind of like the trade-off of they succeeded, but you were putting so much effort into your stunning strike that they still have some limited movement. Because as it stands right now, they'd have more, or they'd have less movement capability failing a check against a stunning strike than they would be as per the stunned condition. So again, I think this may be just like a mistake that they missed in the process, which would be odd. It could be something that's going to be fixed. That first errata is going to be huge, I imagine. And I also am wondering if we're going to see the return of Sage Advice in like a full-blown format. Sage Advice kind of being the official sort of answer blog, if you will, for D&D 5e. So I went to go look at the incapacitated condition just to see, and it is you can't take any action, bonus action, or reaction. You break concentration. You can't speak. And if you're incapacitated, when you roll for initiative, you have disadvantage on the roll. So per the incapacitated condition and the 2024 stunned condition, you still have access to your full movement while stunned. Again, I don't think that was by design. I think that may have just been an oversight. But there are more of these kinds of things where it's like, well, that doesn't really seem to make any sense, because referencing like a saving throw in a place where there is no saving throw or things of that nature. So I thought I would just bring this one up because I've seen a handful of people asking me to cover a bunch of the weird things in this game with the updates here. So some of the things you can look forward to is all the shenanigans you can do with the Nick property and the dual wielder feat, essentially getting yourself like 4 attacks at level 5. There's the weird things where you can just, now it doesn't take in, shield swapping is a crazy thing. Dragging people through spike growth to just shred up their damage. There's some weird things with how you consume food and some of the conditions that are associated with it. The way there are some abilities in this game that basically, the way they're worded, they now trigger on different things, right? We'll get to them in future videos, but like certain things are like, if you have temporary hit points, not temporary hit points from a given source, or if they are poisoned, and it's not like if they're poisoned from the creature giving the poison. So there's some things that can basically flat out paralyze, things that you can do as a player that allow you to paralyze an enemy with no saving throw, or poison an enemy, or frighten an enemy with no saving throw at all. There's weird interactions with opportunity attacks against allies now. There's a bunch of funky stuff. Now, this stuff is all going to kind of come out and become normalized over time. And it seems like a lot right now. And it is. There's a lot to figure out. But, like, we're in this weird, fun time frame of people are discovering the combos and things, right? Like, for those of you who weren't around back in 2014 when 5e launched, like some of the stuff that we're figuring out now feels to some degree when the first person figured out the interaction between Polearm Master and Sentinel and the shenanigans you could do with that, or the development of the concept of the coffee warlock and all this other kind of stuff. These are things that people started experimenting with and figuring out. So I'm excited to see what other things come out. I've got a couple things lined up to go through here, so we'll cover those in future videos. But I thought I'd just start with this interesting change to the stunned condition, which I do feel like is an oversight, and I'm probably going to homebrew rule at my table that you can't move because it just makes sense. But as we know, you can't take things, rules as implied is not rules as written. And like, as much as you want to say, well, yeah, that's what they meant, it's not in the text. So if you had to argue the letter of the law of the book, then stunned characters still have access to their full movement. So anyway, if you have any other weird combos or things that you've thought of that you'd like to see, videos on, let me know. Like I said, I've got a few more planned out on top of the just general traditional coverage that I normally do. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.